The STIHL TIMBERSPORTS World Championship has descended on Munich in Germany. And Australia's Brayden Meyer, the 2019 world champion, has been virtually implanted into the 2021 competition. He currently sits atop the overall leaderboard after 4 disciplines. Can he maintain his reign at the top? Dupuis from Canada going up against Svan from Sweden.
3, 2, 1. Go.
Svan has become very good in this discipline in the last couple of years. Dupuis has always been strong. The Canadian's very well known for this particular discipline, and both of them up on the first board quickly, but it's Dupuis starting to set that second pocket before Svan. He gets that second board in, I'm going to say, let's call it 1 or 2 strokes ahead of Svan, but it is sagging a bit. Svan now gets up on his second board, and let's see how these two manage to get those cuts happening on the top block. Oh, Svan, a little bit too much of a swing with the elbow, almost came off that board, but managed to hold himself up on top. Dupuis, big stick for him as he's getting through deep on the first side. He should switch to the backside any second now. Yep, there we go. Not bothering to switch his foot position as Svan still digging through on the first side, and it looks like Dupuis with the advantage. Oh, and a great time for him. First place there with a 59.53 on that Springboard. Unbelievable time. There you can see Svan almost falls over backwards, but catches himself and then finally drops the block.
And again, our top contenders, Lentz and Komarek, are going head-to-head.
Go!
A couple of big boys. They need to have good pockets for the support of those boards. Komarek sets his first board. He's got a little bit of slough in there. Is that going to cause problems for him? No. Lentz is working on his second pocket now. Looks like he is a slight bit ahead of Komarek as he steps up onto his second board. Doesn't need to jump. He can just stretch that leg that goes all the way to the ground right up top onto the board. And Lentz is working with all his power on the top board. Now look at the difference in the boards these two guys have. It is a little bit of an angle for Komarek that gives him an advantage as far as the amount of power he can push off that back leg. Meanwhile, Lentz has got a bit of a flat board, which is okay, but look how close they are. A personal best for Lentz, and it is just behind.
So now, Meyer will take on the 2021 Best Springboard Performer, Komarek, in this 2019 versus 2021 battle.
All right, Springboard, a very difficult discipline to become masterful at. And Komarek, he is a tenacious competitor. He is not a guy that you like to go up against. He is absolutely in fantastic shape. And here we go. Getting those first pockets is so key. Meyer's got himself a good cut there, gets the first board in place, springs up as though he were a teeny tiny teenager. And now Komarek joins him on that first board. Meyer's got his second board in place. He's looking very good, and we know he can swing that axe as he gets on top and starts working on the block. Komarek has a bit of a disadvantage here as he finally gets up, struggles to get that axe out of the block, but then starts working on the top block, and both of these guys going at it. Will Komarek be able to catch up with Meyer? Meyer's already moved onto the backside, and it should only be a couple more hits for Meyer to get through the back of that block, and he does a 36.84. That is an amazing time for Brayden Meyer, and he is clearly pumped by that. Komarek still working on the top block there as he moves over to the other side with that awkward angle. How's it going to be for the time for Komarek? We know Meyer's got this one in the bag, and Komarek drops it at 51.22.
It seems like Meyer is really making his mark on this competition. His 2019 World Championship performance has him at the top, again gaining maximum points. On the overall, he is still 12 points ahead of Lentz.